Mike, we're live. Good morning.
Damn, good morning, Christian.
Good morning, boss. How are you?
I'm well. Look at this. This is a very packed table.
It is.
I love
Good
this.
morning, Mike. Good morning, Julia.
Good morning, Christian. Good morning, Michael. And good morning, Brian.
To our guest.
Yes, this is, ladies and gentlemen, take a look. We got a famous person here. This is Brian Cano of Haunted Collector, correct? Am I right in that? Haunted Collector?
Yes, Haunted Collector, and
Yes.
currently Paranormal Caught on Camera.
Paranormal Caught on Camera. Sounds kind of
Very
that
nice.
Sounds a little
Yeah, it's
kinky and sexy.
A little
at the same
Well,
time.
why don't we let the people know what they're watching? Welcome, everybody, to another edition of Live from the Secret Stash. I am one of three hosts. I'm Christian Cordes, joined always by...
Michael Zapsik, and to my right, the
Julia
beautiful.
Zapsik.
All right, there you go.
But then in between you two
Yes.
is our special guest, as we said before,
We may have to get
Mr.
a
Brian,
bit
Mr. Brian Cano. How you
Hey.
doing this morning, boss? What'd I do?
boss. Oh,
Yeah, how you doing, boss?
There's lots of bosses around here. That's good.
Yeah.
I'm doing great, and especially since it seems I just got a promotion.
Yeah, congratulations.
Well,
I
welcome to the madness.
I
Go
guess
with the
I'm outta
flow,
here.
Brian. Just go with the flow.
Yeah, just go with the flow. Christian says stuff and we just take it.
Yeah, pretty much. Sorry.
Run down there.
All good, all good.
So I think that I'd be remiss if we just didn't acknowledge that we're live right now, but yesterday we had a national tragedy, of course, the shootings in Texas, and I just want to take a second and, just acknowledge that it did happen, and, maybe it's about time we do something about it.
Yeah,
So
simple.
just that's it.
Yeah.
Just, hey, I think that enough is enough.
Yeah.
So
I hate that I'm numb to this at this point. Like it's not in the traditional sense, but like just I'm so tired of that headline because it's not. It shouldn't be a normal thing. It
No.
should never have been. This should have been an issue that somehow should have been resolved years ago. But
this should have been resolved after the very first time it happened, and unfortunately, this is not a political show, and
No.
I don't want it to ever become a political show.
Nope.
Because my politics are, you don't want to hear about them because I'm a nerd. I mean, that's what you want. You want to hear me talk nerdy.
Yeah.
You don't want to hear me talk political. So I'm not going to get political about this, but let's just do something.
Yeah.
So, and that being said, let's go on.
yeah, Mike, you want to talk nerdy to me?
I do want to talk nerdy to you. Because we have our guest here, we're gonna shift a little bit differently today. We're gonna do our top 5 of the week, our top 5 picks of the week. Starting with they're in no particular order because I actually did have them in some semblance of order. Oh, thank you.
No problem.
All right, here we go. We're going to do Bloodstained Teeth, number 2. A lot of number 2s in my pile this week. And not in the traditional sense of number 2. These are actually good number 2s. Bloodstained Teeth. In case the title doesn't, hint at it, it's about vampires. And it's about, I think they call them sippers. And
Sippers.
and it's just so cool.
Did we talk
sips.
about this
They
one?
call them sips. Yeah, we talked about number 1, oddly enough, a month ago.
Ah,
So they're the traditional vampires. They the generation 1 vampires can turn people into sippers, but they can't. The sippers can't, or sips. They can't turn other people into vampires. They can only kill them. So the generation 1 vampires like, screw this noise. We don't want these sips around. They make us look bad.
I saw a great comment on the Facebook. Does that make their victim sippy cups?
Yes.
Well done.
And it's from Scott Huberman. So,
Well done.
dear God, Scott.
Yeah.
Oh my god!
Yeah, you're killing me, Scott.
You're
So,
banned, Scott. You're
Yeah,
banned.
you really are. So
Can
just
I just interrupt you for just one
Sure.
second? Because it just popped into my head, and if I don't ask you now, I'm going to forget it. And I'm so.
Yeah. Why did I marry you? I have no idea, honey.
I don't know. I forgot.
So one of the things that I noticed is that when we get collections that come in and we're trying to put a run together, very often the number 2s are missing. And this is a learning opportunity for me. My understanding is that a lot of times when people are trying to collect runs, they'll have a hard time finding number 2 because a book comes out and all of a sudden it's popular, and by the time people tune into it, it's like, oh crap, I missed number 1, let me start with number 2. So number 2s are actually harder to find sometimes,
and there's another reason for that, because number 1 gets a huge splash, especially back in the day. They would print like in the millions of copies, and if you have a number 1, million copies, go out there, they print, and then number 2, they cut that in about half. So they would cut down on like, number 2, yeah, because they would get returns, and they found out that number 1 sell great, number 2's not so much, so they would half it.
Really?
Yeah, this is back in the olden days, like back when there were you bought your comics off of squeaky racks.
Okay.
So
basically, though, if anyone is interested in any of these titles, they should scoop up number 2.
They still do that. Yeah, they still look at numbers, and they drop down their printing.
Okay.
So, but yeah,
All
number 2's very, very, sometimes very tough to find. Actually, what's really tough to find are like the final issues of comic runs, because by then the reason why they're the finals because they're not selling. So they only printed like 10,000 copies of that. So done.
Oh.
A little bit of comics college like squeaked in there, even though we don't.
We weren't trying
today,
to, but
I had to ask the question.
Except for books like Walking Dead. Like Walking Dead 193 was their final issue. It was still selling really, really well. And Kirkman was like, I'm going out on top. And boom, he stopped right there. And you can still find it. But I mean, it's also one of those ones that people like, I want to get the last issue of Walking Dead.
That was me. I
was
came
you.
in here looking for that
Son
last
of a-
one. Didn't get any in the middle.
No.
But I wanted the last one.
Yeah.
Lucky.
See, you're the reason why he's like, I want to go out on top.
What's the next pick?
Next pick is Naughty List.
Ooh.
A modern take on Santa. This guy, somebody stole his naughty list, and this is a very emo Santa. Take a look at him. Doesn't he look like he should own a pickup truck instead of a sleigh?
It looks like if this was made in the 80s, he would have been played by Kurt Russell.
Yes, Kurt Russell or Mel Gibson.
Or Mel
Fat
Gibson,
Man.
and
Yep.
now he would have been played by Dave Harbour. Which I wouldn't. I could see it. What do you got then?
Bill Hader.
I can see it. Yeah,
A little Bill
with
Hader
Barry.
there.
Yeah.
Yeah, going for the Barry vibe. So someone stole essentially he's given a list of children who are naughty or nice. And he doesn't know where it comes from. It's magic. So somebody stole it from him. And so they're going out and they're killing people.
That's a cool enough premise for me to get into that book enough. Santa going rogue because someone stole the naughty list
and he's
is a great idea for a book.
Yeah, and he's pretty much he makes toys, and his elves are a bunch of drunken bastards, and they're pretty much drunken bastards.
Taking cues from Futurama.
Yeah, pretty much. Love it. Yeah.
Yes.
And it's actually kind of funny. Oh no, she's not in this. She is being punished. I can be here at 9:15. No problem. Oh, don't make me pull out my little walking computer.
Sarah Bellicose is gonna
Sarah
swap
Bellicose
chairs with me
maybe.
in
I
a
don't
minute.
know.
So I just want to say that what.
Please read that out loud.
I'll be like
Go to the
2 minutes.
videotape.
I'll be like 2 minutes late.
No.
Really?
It's this.
So-
Podcast starts at 9:30. Can you be here at 9:15? Yes, I can. No, you can't. Come on in, Sarah.
Well, you know what? We got caught behind a trash truck, so let's give her a little bit of grace over
I
here.
got
Yes,
caught behind a
but-
train.
You
So
got
don't
caught
worry.
Guess
behind a
what we
trash
did.
truck, right? Yeah, no. I'm trying to feed
That's
you
why
an
you
excuse here.
keep Molotov cocktails in your trunk.
Oh.
So yes,
Yeah, we're gonna
that
swap
trash
Sarah
truck
in here.
is
I'm
not
going
going to be.
content moderation
All
while
right,
the
good deal.
guys.
Cool.
The guys
That's
take
nice.
it forward. But I just want to give a shout out to Max Sanchez. You've been banned, but I hope you have a great day, and thank you so much for tuning
Oh,
in.
bummer.
Yeah.
Max Sanchez has been banned. Oh, Max.
We will
Thanks,
keep
buddy.
thoughts and prayers for you that your personality continues to develop in the lovely way
Good
that
for you,
apparently
buddy.
has to date. So.
Mhm.
You've actually pissed off my wife, which is a kind of a tough thing to do. So
But everybody
get bent,
else,
buddy.
all love.
So,
All right.
question from Mark.
Swap out, my
Question
friend.
from Mark Lamb. How many issues is that? So I think
That's number 2.
that's number 2.
So
So
yes.
I think this whole pile is number twos this week.
A lot of them.
Yeah.
And that shouldn't reflect the quality of the book. It just happens to be
That's
book
awesome.
number twos.
And may I just say one thing? I love Amy Tucci for loving Julia Zapsik because she got on there. She's like, I love Julia Zapsik
For that reason. Morning, Sarah.
Good morning.
All right, here we go.
All right. What's the next
Dear
one?
God, Sarah. Holy crap.
All right, what do we got?
It's that kind of a morning, people. Brian, what's that?
This is The Amazing Spider-Man, also number 2.
So there we
Ooh.
go. So we've got 3 number 2s already. So that's pretty awesome. This is Amazing Spider-Man. Something happened 6 months ago that Peter Parker is quite ashamed of. And he is burning bridges with all of his friends. He has betrayed the trust of his beloved Aunt May. And he is pretty much wrecking his life. So
He's going through his emo phase.
yeah, he's going through a definite emo phase. He's going through his Tobey Maguire phase. That's right. And
Poor Tobey.
we don't know why yet. All we know, and they gave us a little hint that Spider-Man did something that he's not terribly proud of. But he's still Spider-Man because with great power comes
Great responsibility.
good man. And he actually has to do a favor for Norman Osborn. Yikes.
Ugh.
Green Goblin himself. And yeah, so
This is the last person I'd ever want to owe a favor to.
I know. And they don't even tell you why. They do give you a little editor's note that says, how can this be? And I'm like, I don't know. And this is going to be.
Is this one of those books where you definitely want to figure out what the favor was, or is it kind of is it cool to be left up to your own imagination?
No, I think that we're going to want to find out a little bit later on.
Okay.
So, and we will. What do you think, Sarah?
I probably will pick it up and read it
All right, good enough. Works for me.
because I read the first one. So
Devil's Reign Omega. Devil's Reign, which had Wilson Fisk declare war on all the masks of New York City because Wilson Fisk was the mayor of New York City.
In this run.
And this run, and well, actually in a big run, in a big chunk of a lot of the Marvel comics, especially Daredevil, Woman Without Fear, Daredevil, the Man Without Fear, and
Mm-hmm.
everything's without fear except for New York. So Wilson Fisk declared war on the masks. Masks not happy about it, and they take the fight into the streets, and that's what Devil Reign's all about. Something mystical happens where our buddy Wilson, the Kingpin, forgot who Daredevil was.
Ooh.
Something clouded his mind, and he couldn't remember who Matt Murdock really was.
Sounds like a little Doctor Strange action on the MCU going on.
Feels like it, but this
I
has
can dig
happened
that.
before. We've had Spider-Man do the same thing with Mephisto, putting the genie back in that bottle. Tony Stark, how many times did he reveal his secret identity?
He just kind of gave up after a certain point.
Exactly. And Spider-Man, I mean, he can't even keep his goddamn mask on for half of a movie.
A whole subway full of people
know.
know who he is.
Yeah, it's like I've never seen that guy before, but I'll never forget him now. So, yeah.
Comment from Mike Holtry. Wasn't J. Jonah Jameson briefly mayor of New York during the Doc Ock
Yes, he
Spidey
was.
era?
Very good, Mike.
What?
Yeah, he was the mayor of New York City. I think that something happened to J. Jonah and Wilson took over for him. Wilson Fisk has billions of dollars, mostly dirty, and I'm sure he could buy an election if he wants.
I always thought that stories were like the premier bad guys find themselves in like a position of power within the U.S. government. I always thought that was cool in comic book
And then
even adaptions. I love in Young Justice when Lex Luthor is he's president.
Yeah.
When he's president.
No, he was the Secretary General of the United Nations, but he was president in Superman in a run of Action Comics back in the early 2000s. So yeah, it was Donald Trump actually becoming the president of the United States.
We're not a political show, damn it.
I'm just saying, you've got a Lex Luthor, and wow. So yeah, I always loved that. I always thought that was pretty funny.
I could dig it.
Yeah.
All right. What's next?
And there's a fan theory out there that posits that all of the action, all of the Netflix shows took place during the blip. How cool is that?
That would make sense why no one else shows up or is aware of
Right.
anything that's happening.
How cool would that be?
I like it.
Oh, that makes a lot. I like that.
Yeah, so do I.
I
Especially
dig that theory.
Although I would love to see Rocket Raccoon in Hell's Kitchen. That'd be pretty badass.
That would be pretty
That would
funny.
be awesome. So yeah, Devil's Reign, Omega, they put someone to rest. And there's a new mayor in New York City. Goes by the name of Luke Cage.
Ooh.
What?
Damn it.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So that is definitely a book I might pick it up. And what is this last
The
one?
last one is
Last but not least.
DC versus Vampire Hunters. And I can't give away too much, but let's just put it this way. There are vampires in the DC universe. There are vampires in every universe, damn it. I think we all know that.
Mhm.
But this is an alternate universe where the vampires, they decide, let's take over.
Yeah,
And so
We're tired of regular humans.
they start with the metahumans and they go after a lot of the superheroes.
I relate to the
Yeah.
vampires in this story. I'm tired of regular humans.
Yeah, me too. And
I could dig it.
They can-
Do we have to worry about you, Christian? Are you going to be coming after some people?
yeah, he's looking at you like you're a sippy cup.
I'm gonna just gonna move a little down.
So lovely.
was a good
The
one.
lovely Julia. There is a gentleman at the door.
Incoming.
If you wouldn't mind, the lovely Julia.
For packages for the secret stash.
Oh, you are fantastic. Look at you. All right. So, yes, I can't give away too much, but one of my favorite characters is indeed a vampire, and it makes things complicated.
Oh.
So yeah, I do also look at some of these guys, and I'm like, yeah, that's fine.
By looking at the cover, could I start to piece together who that person might be?
probably yes. You
Oh,
can
okay.
pretty much figure it out. So
Is this a DC answer to Marvel Zombies? That there's the cast that we're normally used to seeing as good guys are now maybe on the other
Flipped.
side of the line.
Yep. And yeah, that's pretty much it.
Okay.
Yeah.
I dig it.
So those are our top 5 picks.
Yes.
I can dig them.
So we have 2 gigantic boxes that came in. If we have any time left over at the end of the segment and you want to do a little unboxing,
we can do an unboxing.
And we've got our toy and gaming folks here. So maybe
Yes.
you and Sarah can do an unboxing.
Maybe
Maybe if
Yeah,
you
she-
like me enough.
if she can show up on time.
If they're feeling like vibing. So, what do you want to do next?
You know what? Why don't we talk to our guest, Brian Cano? You are a explain what you are, because I can't do it justice. Explain yourself, young man.
Oh man, I'm it's like the Amber Heard
You're a
Johnny
tech
Depp
guy.
trial.
You're a tech guy, but you believe in the other side. You believe that there's something.
The paranormal, the
I'm a house of
supernatural.
many rooms. So over
Excellent.
the years, I've done a lot in the paranormal space. I'm a researcher. I'm an investigator. I'm a new author.
Ooh.
And I bring certain events. I've got different things that I take around the country, my history of the paranormal, mobile exhibits. And lately, I've been working on something with Dustin Perry from Ghost Hunters called Pathways. And that's probably why I'm sitting behind this table. Although I wanted to get here for some time, Pathways is coming to the Atlantic Highlands.
Oh,
And
He
I'm
described
going to tell
this.
you all about it.
He described this before the show, and it is one of the coolest concepts for a live event, live show, live experience.
And you know, Chris, it's hard. And when you said, "Hey, what is it?" I stammered for a moment because how does one describe something new using the descriptions of the old things that already exist? So the simplest way to describe it, it's a live choose your own adventure. And the audience will be taken on a paranormal investigation via pre-recorded
Segments
Contents.
and stuff.
but they make all the choices. So we're going to go into the Strauss Mansion,
Oh my
the haunted
God.
Strauss Mansion located in the Atlantic Highlands. And as you're watching, do we go into the kitchen or do we go into the basement? Audience chooses. And when they choose, that's the path they take. And unlike the
basement's
Choose Your
creepy.
Adventure, when we were kids, you can't stick your finger in the chapter when you see the end and go, no. Didn't choose that.
Uh-oh.
No.
Oh my god, that's an incredible idea, especially with ghost hunting. Give me a sneak peek. What's the first option? Like, is it because you mentioned one that was like go in the basement or the attic? Which one are you guys picking? Because for me, it's the attic. I'm never going in the basement.
No, attic always.
Always go in the attic.
Good stuff is in the attic. Basements, there's never anything good
There's
in the basement.
never anything good in the
There's
basement.
usually something chained to a wall in a basement.
There's usually there's some Evil Dead stuff going on in
Yeah.
the basement.
Hey, look at this. Pathways. Night at the Strauss Mansion. It's coming to the Atlantic Movie House in Atlantic Highlands, New Jersey. And this is going to be on July 9th. And look at that. Look at it. In all its poster glory.
Well, let me ask you a question, Brian. How does one join you at the Strauss Mansion via remote control?
That is a good question, Mike. You can go to whichpathwillyouchoose.com.
Really, I love that. Whichpathwillyouchoose.com?
Whichpathwillyouchoose.com.
That is awesome. Oh, I
can
love
dig it.
that.
A night at the Strauss Mansion. Get your tickets. They're limited, but this is a very special engagement because normally Pathways is just the show. But because we filmed at the Strauss Mansion, which is literally just up the hill from the theater, we are taking a very specific and limited number of VIP guests up the hill to the mansion for an investigation after the show.
Oh,
Wow.
Okay.
That's cool.
So if they
watch
bring
it
home a
and
ghost,
then
it's
see
not
it.
your responsibility.
No.
Or ghost herpes.
No.
That would be horrible.
Well, this the cool thing about the Strauss Mansion, not only is it haunted, it was also featured in an 80s B horror movie called Don't Go in the House.
Oh, wow. That's a great name for a that
But
sounds like an 80s movie.
Yes, but we went in the house and it was pretty cool.
Oh, that's awesome.
We used to have haunted house that used to be the haunted house, and then they did the Prospect Circle, and we would walk around, and all the neighbors would participate, and you'd walk through like their backyards, and they'd have it all set up like a haunted house.
So cool.
They don't do it anymore. I wish they did because it was a lot of fun.
There is a house up on the hill. I don't know. It's not the Strauss Mansion, but there was. I was lucky enough to go to a party there up in Atlantic Highlands, and this guy decked the place out like nobody's business. I mean, it was a nice house, but it wasn't a mansion.
Yeah, I actually
mansion.
one year did the Strauss Mansion. Like I participated in being like one of the scarers, and it's definitely a creepy place.
Oh, yeah.
Even though I was the one scaring people, it's definitely a creepy spot to be in.
Don't go in the house.
No, I had to.
So, 2 questions for you, but I'll lead with this one. So, what was your like inciting incident in wanting to kind of delve into the world of paranormal? Like, there's always that one thing that happens to people that they're like, "What?" And I need to explain that.
It's
figure
funny
it
you
out.
ask that because I get asked that all the time, and I don't have that one moment that set me on the path. You know, my parents weren't murdered in an alley, and I became a vigilante.
You didn't
crime
become
fighter.
Batman.
Yeah, super investigator.
My origin story is not as exciting as that, but as a kid, I was always curious about those things, and I grew up on shows like In Search Of with Leonard Nimoy.
Oh, I love that.
And the end credits to that show, I couldn't tell you about a single episode, but I remember the end credits because they would just flash all these images of Stonehenge, Loch Ness Monster, Bigfoot, aliens, and your little young Brian said, "I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna solve all those mysteries." And I haven't done that yet, but I'm doing it.
Do you have like a little list? You got a little notebook, and you're like, all right, Loch Ness Monster, got it.
Yes.
It's
like Earl's
it's
list.
It's
You know,
a work in progress.
Every time I
gotcha.
do something, I cross it off the list, back in the pocket.
So then, like, what's a bucket list location for you? Like, regardless of how you will have to get there eventually, like you're getting there.
We're seeing a theme today: the White House.
Really?
Ooh,
I would love to investigate the White House.
Oh.
you and a lot of other people, but
For
yeah,
different reasons.
but yeah, that's very true. The White House is very haunted.
Yeah, the Eisenhower Cocaine Lounge alone.
Oh my god. Well, think of all the stress in that building at any given time.
Mm.
Think of all the deals that have went down. Think of all the things that we as the public don't know. And just to get in that building and kick around and do some investigating. I would
just
love
walking
to do
in
that.
there and being like very psychically receptive, and walking in just like turning into a
Just
bowl
like
of
a
jelly.
lightning.
Like, it's like, oh my god, his nervous system collapsed. I wonder why.
There's something here.
Yeah, oh, there's a shit ton of stuff here.
So I'm gonna have to like run in 32 or something, because that's probably gonna be the only way I'm gonna get to investigate the White House.
Getting elected?
Yes.
Being invited by Lex Luthor, maybe?
Stranger things have happened.
Vote Brian Cano, people.
Yes.
And the write-in ballot.
I would. What about yours? That's a great question. I love that, and I love that answer. That is really, really good. Why don't you give us your bucket list? Like where would
a
you-
haunted location? Alcatraz. I'd love to
Alcatraz is
explore
amazing.
Alcatraz. But like, my only concern with Alcatraz is I've heard a lot of stories where it's not just you go in there and it's haunted. Like, some people have had stuff follow them. Like, I'm so intrigued by that, but terrified of that. So I'd love to explore Alcatraz. I just don't want nothing following me home back to Jersey.
I think Alcatraz would also be mine, because I'm also a history nerd.
Really?
So
Really? So you're just gonna glom onto his? You come on! Holy God!
I would go to like some like Viking battlefield type of thing, and just I don't have a specific one in mind, but I also like the Norse mythology is
Cool.
very intriguing to me. So somewhere like that.
All right. That is. How about just like? Yeah, that'd be way cool. Like you'd want to go to Norway though.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Or Greenland.
Or Greenland.
Yeah, Iceland. Don't go to Greenland.
No,
Greenland.
Iceland.
They're lying sacks of shit over in Greenland. They ain't
Go to
nothing green.
Iceland.
So yeah,
There's
go to
Propaganda,
Iceland.
all of it.
Yes.
There's oh my god, there's one that Ed Weird just listed in the comments, and that's a place that I would never want to go. Doll Island
Wow.
in Mexico City. Have you ever heard of this place, Michael? Or you ever seen it?
I think I've seen pictures of it. Where
It is just as terrifying as you would think.
just like
Have you heard of this place? Doll Island?
Yeah.
So this guy had collected a whole bunch of.
I don't like dolls.
Yeah, I
so
don't either.
no.
He had
And,
collected
like,
a whole
yeah,
bunch
no.
of toy dolls in tribute of, like, I think a kid who had passed away, and then he passed on the island, and everyone was just like, you know what, we're just gonna stay away from there, because they would hear like laughing late at
no.
night,
chittering.
chittering.
Nope.
Dolls with no batteries start talking and laugh. Yeah, no, I'm no Doll Island
Yeah.
for this dude.
I don't
I'm
like
trying to
think-
dolls.
you know what? I would want to go to Governor's Island in New York.
Yeah,
I
cool
think
place.
that would be really cool to just hang out and Alphabet City down there. You're like, hey, this is all right. You get like all the junkies and stuff,
Oh
and
shit!
hanging out with you, and getting you stuff. Not junk, but
Stuff.
stuff.
Damn.
Yeah, Alcatraz,
Yeah.
you guys, I mean, it's great, and you can do it, and they run tours. There's also, oddly enough, Native American history on that island because of political things that happened back in the day after.
There was a takeover
Yeah.
of that island.
Yeah. So there's a lot mixed in there, and you feel it. And not only that, when you go there, there is a weird phenomenon where you cannot stop doing Sean Connery impressions.
Yeah, I think that just came out in the past 20 years, though. So
That's a recent phenomenon.
Yes,
Do, 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 do.
absolutely.
we've been to Scotland, and we've been to some they do really weird stuff in Scotland. I mean,
Haggis alone.
haggis, but yeah, I was gonna say blood
Yeah.
pudding. But I didn't feel anything like. Every once in a while, I'll get like, oh, this place is like.
You get a vibe.
You get a vibe, but and in Scotland, maybe because it's like outdoors and everything dissipates, and I just never got that vibe.
Yeah.
So it's just really weird. We were in like like what they called like Fey lines or Fey.
Oh,
Ley lines?
Ley lines.
Well, no, Fey. I'm
the
sorry,
Fey village?
Fey villages,
Okay.
or so they say.
Okay.
Oh, you
In Scotland?
You mean, well, because when we first got there, we actually went out. We rented. We had a tour guide, and we all got in the car, and he took us around. So he claims to be original Pict, which is one of the first peoples that
Right.
that lived in that area that we have knowledge of, and immediately took us to this island where the fairy queen lived. And didn't tell us, but as we were walking up, and we're like, oh, this is cool, interesting. And there's all this stuff hanging on the trees, like little pieces of clothing and things tied there. And he looks at us and he goes, you have to take off something and leave it for the fairy queen.
An offering.
Because
Hell no.
and so I looked, and so the boys, of course, being like little kids and very, we're like, okay. And I'm like, oh no, we're not doing that. And something kind of creeped me out about that. I'm like, no, we're not doing it. And he like looked at me and he goes, you should do it. And I'm thinking, Mother, you know what? You didn't tell us you were bringing us here. This is some kind of a weird trick. I'm not leaving shit for the fairy princess.
I don't like that he didn't tell y'all. That's not cool.
Later that night, right? Everybody's asleep in the hotel room, and I'm lying there. And I'm having a hard time going to sleep. And all of a sudden, we had a very nice trip otherwise. All of a sudden I look down and these like lines on my arm are like throbbing and getting like really red and raised. And I'm like,
no, thank you.
Bitch, are you coming after me? And I'm like, seriously, I'm like, because we don't play that way. I'm like,
oh
get
my
the
God.
fuck out. You have no power here. And like immediately,
it went away. I love the image of you wanting to like step up with
a ghost.
Fight a ghost. Fight the fairy queen.
Yeah, you don't want to fuck with her.
No, don't fuck with the fairy queen.
The part of the city where when the plague came, they literally just herded sick people in there and healthy people, basically locked them in there, would drop food every once in a while and just left them there to die. So that was also
yeah,
awesome.
that was
That was COVID 2.
It's no COVID, the prequel.
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh my God,
yeah, it kind of sucked.
Anything over the pond, there's always just much worse ghost stories and monsters. Everything that we get over here is like just haunted road or something like that. Ghost in the
Shades of Death Road. Yeah.
Shades of Death Road.
Yeah.
See, I was waiting for that story to get really dark, like the Zapsicks came home with one less child after. They're from Jersey, so yeah, Jersey represent.
Yeah, No, I'm not leaving. I put plenty of money, and that's an investment in my kids, so they're coming back with me.
No fairy queen's taking away these fuckers.
Yeah, you know what happened? Scotland's one less fairy queen. All right, sorry, she's coming home with us.
Oh my God. Someone had commented New Orleans is also a very haunted
New
city.
Orleans, I've gotten a couple
visit.
vibes there. We were at what was that? That was Jean Lafitte's blacksmith shop, and I got some creepy vibes from that place. Yeah. Oh, it's because they don't have electricity; they have generators.
Yeah,
and it's
a cool town.
Very
Definitely a cool town.
Yeah.
Can I know, I should just bring a chair up here. So one of the things I was just commenting on one of the feeds is that one of the things that I liked about you when I first met you, and I'm a little bit of I'm not a skeptic, but I'm skeptical of people who claim to have like powers and knowledge and understanding, and I can commune with the dead and all this kind of stuff. I'm like, So
bullshit senses.
So yeah, exactly. So when I first met you, I was like, oh hi, yeah, you're a paranormal investigator. I'm like, okay, this guy's gonna try to sell me on something or blah blah blah. And I forget what it was that came up, but you were just like, that's crap. And you're like, and that doesn't work. And then you went down the list, like, if you hear people say this, and this, like, it's total bullshit. Like, that's not how any of this works. It's not, it's not as exciting as they make on TV. There's a lot of waiting around and nothing happening. And I was like, I like this dude. It's, really. So I like I like that aspect. I don't know if you want to get into how boring it is to sit around for hours and not discover anything.
That's the thing. Like, when I first started doing this, I was a skeptic. And my whole reason for now, again, kid, you believe in everything.
Yes.
You get older, you get jaded, skeptic. So skeptic Brian started
to show up.
I showed up and I wanted to prove to everyone who's seen this or felt that you're crazy. As I did it, every experience I had, I considered like a grain of sand. A grain of sand by itself. I said, hey, Christian, here's a grain of sand. You'd look at it and go, and you drop it. So every experience I had was like that. But as time went on, grain after grain after grain after grain, I looked down and metaphorically speaking, I was standing on a beach and I had to consider what that meant. So I went from skeptic to skeptical believer. I know the phenomena exists. It's the people who report it I'm skeptical of.
Yes. Yeah.
Bunch of dicks.
You've seen enough fake that it takes the fun out of trying to find the actual. What's a piece of evidence that you've seen personally that maybe somebody can go look up that you're like, I can't explain that. What do you think?
Being on the TV show Paranormal Caught on Camera, that's literally my job. I have to watch video clip after video clip after video clip of these things that people around the world have caught.
Mm-hmm.
And half of it, I go, come on. Some of it, I'm like, oh, this is interesting. This is convincing. And there's a very small percentage that I'm like, I have no idea. Done, out. some really scary things.
Did you guys ever cover the car that was being chased by police that disappeared through a fence and they could never figure out how it happened?
No.
There's a clip
I'd love
on.
to see that.
There's a clip online that has stumped me to this day of police chasing this white car, and oddly enough, you can't see the driver. It's fine, sure, whatever. And it rounds a corner, and then the cop car tries to follow it, but the car takes off, and it looks like it goes through a fence.
Did it go 88 miles per hour?
I call bullshit because police would never chase a white car. Come on. We all know that.
Just white vans, white Broncos.
There you go, Christian. See, gotcha.
And we've lost Christian.
Damn it.
You're welcome.
What can I say except yikes? Oh my god.
Uh,
But yeah, no, that's one of those clips, at least for me, where I'm like, I have no idea how to explain that.
Yeah.
Oh man. But
I mean, that's the thing. I'm also by my day job by trade, I'm a video editor. So I look at these through the eyes of an editor, like, okay, if I had to make this, how would I do it? How would I manufacture it? And sometimes I'm like, yep, that's easy. Yep, that's easy. Other times I'm like, how did they do this?
Yeah.
wow, they got some skills.
Yeah.
Or it's real. And actually, I'm going to throw this to Sarah. There is a place down in Highlands.
Mhm.
It used to be, well, it's not there anymore, but Bud's Grave. You remember Bud's Grave?
Yeah.
Okay. Why don't you tell the folks at home about Bud's Grave a little bit?
Well, I've never been there myself personally.
Okay. I have, but go ahead. You know the story behind it.
Roughly, because
Okay.
it's been changed and altered so many times.
Of course, but that's part of the whole thing about folklore, and that's what Indiana Jones says in Raiders of the Lost Ark. He's like,
right.
this is one of the things, folklore, as opposed to like facts.
Yeah,
So-
I mean, I know more like folklore about the Strauss Mansion than I do of Bud's Grave.
Bud's
though.
Grave, but Bud's
Yeah.
Grave is a place that so many people went to from this area, I should say.
Not
It's
me, though.
so then
I
I'm gonna have
haven't
to.
gone
Then you haven't gone. Well, it's gone. So
I know.
you can't
You'll
go.
never go.
You'll never
Yeah,
go.
I lost the
But
opportunity.
I'm sure your father went, and
Oh,
I'm sure he
probably.
went with Ernie. But
Probably.
there was this small patch of land across from. It's right abutting a hill of the Highlands, and it was right across the street from this. They say the crazy lady's house or the crazy people's house. From what I understand, this is the folklore. Is this young boy was out playing with his dog, and he got hit by a car, and the lady saw it happen. She grabbed the kid, pulled him in, and he died in her house. And the police came. They wanted to take the body. She refused. She took the body up on the hill and buried it someplace, and then put his bedroom out across the road from her house.
Oh, wow.
So, and she would put new toys there, and there were signs that said, Bud's house, and all sorts of really
It
weird
was
things
just a
down there.
Bed. It wasn't.
Yeah, there was a
It
bed
wasn't
with
anything.
there was
A couple toys, maybe a pillow.
Yeah.
Bad parenting. Where's this kid's parents?
Well, I think that this lady was the parent,
Okay.
and
But she was
but she
kooky to begin with.
Yes.
so.
Yeah.
But that's and there are so many different versions of that story. Now, my jerk off friends and I went there, and we were like 19 or 20, and a little underage drinking, and we stole some stuff out of Bud's Grave.
Oh, boy.
They
Oh,
had
you're
a.
just asking for trouble.
I know they had a spinning wheel, which we took.
It's like number one on the list is
Yeah.
don't steal shit from the grave.
Yeah,
You should know better.
Paranormal world, beware the Zapsix.
I
Beware.
don't deal.
Don't mess with them.
I don't deal well with people telling me not to do shit. So we took that, and we took a couple of things, and I think I'm pretty safe from the law catching up with me. That was like 40
Past-
years,
it's
30 years
past
ago.
the paranormal
Limitations
statute of
is- yeah.
limitations.
Now ghosts don't forget shit. So and
Past
if
any
Bud's
legal.
there, he can come and hey, where'd you put that stuff? And I'll pass them along to the people who were the true thieves that night. But
Bud's
Poor
gonna
Bud.
flood your house.
he
Again.
already did. He already did. So we're good. Maybe
Well-
that's what it was. Maybe
Yeah,
that's what.
Maybe that was
why.
Bud's
Wow.
anger.
I never stole from someone's grave, but I do have a cool ghost story.
This is not a grave robbery.
no
All right.
grave robbing. This is
All right, I'll lower my expectations.
so I make music at ungodly hours of the night, especially my old house. We believed my old house was haunted, but it was either by my dad or my uncle. And I know it's either of them because they both would stay up late making music. So one night it was like 2 a.m. and I'm making music and I'm minding my own business. And then you get that feeling, right? Over your shoulder. And I know for a fact it's not anyone in my house because everyone's either asleep or somewhere. This is like in the middle of the summer. And then I hear something on the right side because my desk faced the wall and my bed is like over here. And I hear my bed compress and I look over and it looks like someone was sitting on it. Now, mind you, my bed had like the spring, so I tried to explain it away. I was like, maybe that's like some weird compression thing, but I was still freaked out. I was like, this ain't happening right now. But I was like, I wasn't scared. I was just like, interesting. So I was just like, hey, Dad or Uncle John, it's great to see you. So I played like a piece of the music. And then I was like, hey, I love you guys, but I got to be real with you. You're scaring the ever-loving hell out of me right now, but it's great to know you're around.
Right.
The bed uncompressed and the feeling went away.
Wow. That's interesting. See, it's funny because no matter where you lie on the spectrum of believer or a skeptic, it seems like everyone has a story. And that's the commonality between all of us. And we move. And lately, I feel like I'm becoming more skeptical again. I see a lot of videos that just don't really add up. And I'm like, so I'm becoming more skeptical. But again, I know it's out there, but it's rare.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
You have a book. Let's see what that is about.
My book. Remember how I talked about those experiences and all of them being grains of sand?
Yes.
Well, that's what the book is called. Grains of Sand,
Ah.
Tales of the Paranormal Life. And this is a culmination of 20 years worth of living and learning and just looking back and saying, oh, that's what that was about. That's what I needed to learn. All right,
Okay.
got it.
Very cool.
So
and this available on Amazon?
You can pick it up on Amazon.
Damn, Amazon, you're going to get some business from us today. So good for you.
Yes. So some of the tales are scary. Some of the tales are odd, but they're all hopeful because, again, paranormal, yeah, Hollywood and TV, you know, we celebrate the scary aspect of it. And we love to be scared and tell ghost stories. But where we are, they are. It's just part of our existence. And you, like you said, you kind of figured out who it was. You know, you didn't have to be scared, but you exerted your domain over your own space and say, hey, look, this is my space. I'm in charge. Good to see you, but you got to go.
I knew it was them because like literally my dad's nickname was the Nocturnal. So I was like, okay, that makes sense. So, but yeah, it's interesting. And that was kind of like, because I've always kind of been the same way where it's like, I want to believe, but I got to experience something.
Yeah.
And that was my experience.
So you're son of Nocturnal. Nocturnal 2, Electric Boogaloo.
Nocturnal Junior?
Very, you know, yeah.
Knock Junior.
Knock Junior. That's my hip hop name, people.
Nice.
Oh, dear Lord.
On tour this summer.
With Mike Zapsik as my hype man.
Nah, that'll do it. So tell me where they can get tickets to go see this. And what's the date one more time for anyone who just tuned in?
For Pathways, a night at the Strauss Mansion, you can go to whichpathwillyouchoose.com, and it's going to be happening on Saturday, July 9th in the Atlantic Highlands, specifically at the Atlantic Movie House.
Damn. We love the Atlantic Movie House.
Which is also allegedly a little haunted.
Yeah,
Yes.
Yeah.
You were quick to respond to that.
Yeah.
Have you had an experience there?
Yeah, tell us.
The back, so it's like the back left theater.
Mhm.
It used to be where the old owner, his apartment was above.
Excuse me.
Sorry.
And the story is that he died up there. And that back theater has always been a little freaky.
We're showing in one of those back theaters. When you come into the left, you go down the
Yeah.
hall.
The long ass ominous hallway.
Yes.
I noticed
all the way down at the left side.
I noticed that when we were working the stash week, and I was like, "Oh, there's a couple of theaters here," but I didn't round that corner to just go look.
Yeah.
And then I made the choice, and I was like, "Why is that so weird? It's so strange."
That
but-
theater has been rumored to be haunted, like that theater specific, since he passed. And this was probably when I was like 13 or around there. And like sometimes you would hear like the workers saying like they're working, and they would hear like, you know, the like flicker of the theater kind of just like go.
I
and,
love
like,
how you throw that out there. The workers, like the workers, like they've got like pickaxes over their shoulders, like, oh,
16
They're
times.
ready.
What do you get?
It's the miners. They just want to see. They just want to see Multiverse of Madness.
of course they do. And we're gonna spoil that next week because we're getting close to the end of the hour.
Oh
Ooh.
wow!
My wife loves me. She gave me a weapon.
but not your favorite.
Special
one.
delivery.
Not my actually, no, it's not my favorite weapon. Sarah, why don't you do us the honors of opening these boxes? We'll do a little unboxing here, unceremoniously. But in the meantime, I wanted to let everyone out there know that we're going to be about 2 weeks, 3 weeks. We will have signed copies of A Door in the Distance by Mark Bernardin here in the stash. What a great story. They'll be signed. And I butchered his name again. I can't believe it.
Mark Bernardin.
Mark Bernardin. I in my head. Yes. Also, we're going to have those signed copies here, but you can own them. Get in touch with the stash. But want to congratulate them. You want to pull up the thing for our viewers?
Absolutely.
Beautiful. Here we go.
Trying to find it.
We want to give them a big old congratulations. They have been nominated for an Eisner Award. Mark Bernardin and the artist. I know. I
literally just told you.
I know. I'm telling you, it's a stupid thing. It's like one of those mental blocks.
It's all good.
But
yeah, Mark Bernardin
and his artist.
Let me pull up the name.
Yeah, there we go.
Ariella
Christiana.
Christianatina. Well, yeah, they were nominated for an Eisner Award.
They were nominated. Didn't I just say that?
Yeah.
They were nominated for an Eisner
I
Award.
think they were nominated for an Eisner Award, you guys.
Yeah.
Did you hear that they were
I
nominated
think so.
for an Eisner Award?
I did not.
Hey,
Well, there you go, guys.
Sarah, Eisner Awards. Guess who got nominated?
What the
Mark
hell?
Bernardin.
Mark Bernardin.
Not Mark Bernardin. We got pop. No, these are not pops, man. Oh my gosh.
Whoa.
These are oh Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, Frankenstein's Monster.
Nice.
Whoa.
How
Oh
awesome
my.
is that?
Okay.
And yes, we did.
I can't stress to the people at home how much I love Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. That is something I might buy. Holy
look
crap,
at
that is awesome.
So are they all Universal
Very
monsters?
nice.
That would be the coolest thing in the world if they were.
I think on the side they've got all the different ones that they have.
Yeah, they will be having. Here we go. We've got Pure Terror from the Sewer.
Raphael is Frankenstein's monster. Oh my god, I love this.
You can figure these out.
Yeah, let me take a look.
Yeah, well, that's Leonardo's sash, so it looks like.
Nightmare Before Christmas.
Oh my!
That's awesome. The Many Jobs of Jack.
People, this is legit
Oh, wow,
one of
this
the
is so
coolest
cool.
ideas and toys in the TMNT line I think I have ever seen. TMNT Frankenstein, Nickelodeon. Thank you so much.
So does this mean that he was assembled from different parts of people that love pizza?
No, he's
Or
assembled
different
from
turtles?
parts of-
Different turtles. Different turtles.
Different mutated turtles?
Boba Fett and Fennec on. That's pretty badass.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yes, the
Nice.
throne. Gotta love that. We got plenty. I can.
Chia Pet.
Oh my God! Yes. I
Wow.
forgot I ordered this. A Willie Nelson Chia Pet, folks.
No way.
The
That's
thing you
awesome.
didn't know you needed is here.
Why in the hell isn't his beard part of the Chia Pet?
Oh, I call bullshit. Yeah, that's a good point.
That is crap. No, his beard should be part of the Chia Pet. I'm waiting for the Christian Cortez
Chia Pet?
That would be awesome.
It's a one-time only, and it's already
Yeah,
here.
they missed an
I'm just
opportunity.
surprised that something
I know.
with Willie
I know,
Nelson's
right?
image on it that you
That's
grow
awful.
is a chia.
Chia. Oh my God!
Unless
So
it's
you
a
were
special chia.
you were actually right. It is in collaboration with Universal Monsters.
Universal Monsters.
And I mean, we've got entirely too many pops to. Yeah, you do. You get the short pops today, but we got so many pops to
Sarah's the
announce
pop
that.
queen.
I got the boxing Mike Tyson,
Ooh.
which I know one guy who's not going to buy it. He's not flying out here to buy it from me.
I stole your chair.
We've
That's
got the
why
black and gold
Like,
No Way Home
Marty.
Spider-Man. We've got the Captain Carter Stealth What If. Weve got the What If Frost Giant Loki. Wow. What If Gamora Blade of Thanos. Infinity Killmonger. Ooh, Space Jam. Marvin the Martian. And I've got a bunch of Star Wars. Mandalorians.
Yeah.
Whole. Oh, wow. Wrecker. Hunter from the Bad Batch.
Nice.
Duke Silver vinyl figure.
Oh.
That's
Duke
always nice.
Silver.
Duke Silver from
The
Parks and
smooth
Rec.
sounds of Duke Silver.
And that's
You
awesome.
probably ordered those like a year ago.
I did. Marvel, the What If Zombies, Captain America, and Zombie Iron Man. So, oh my goodness. Yeah, we got a
Very
whole bunch of them.
All right.
I'm looking forward to these.
we are.
And we will put together a zombie chia pet.
We will.
No, we won't.
That's awesome. No.
But our guest is holding up a mighty awesome event that is going to be
Yes,
coming up.
Holding up another guest. Love it. Right. All one.
How meta is
all
that?
one universe. I know. Nice. Marty Grabstein. We're going to be sharing more social media about it, but Marty Grabstein, who is the inimitable voice of Courage the Cowardly Dog, it will be in store on June 11th for a signing photo op. He's doing some video stuff.
He's got
too.
some pops.
He
He's
does,
going to be
he
signing
does.
whatever you want him to sign, your
Mhm.
babies, whatever. Doesn't matter.
Exactly.
Blank checks,
Okay.
absolutely.
And guess what,
And
guys?
you know what? We met Marty through Brimstone.
Our
Brimstone.
friend Will Brimstone.
Mhm.
And
And he was
Thank you,
a
Brem.
sweetheart of a guy. I mean, we had a great time when he came to the store and hung out, and we ended up talking and signing him to come in for a signing. But it was really delightful when we put up our first social media post how beloved his character and he is, like all around the country. Like people are commenting. It's like it's really kind of it's very, very cool.
I
And I
think
had no idea that Courage was like 20-something years old.
Courage is
Oh, wow.
even.
Yeah.
I think Courage is one of those timeless cartoons. Like, there's
Mhm.
nothing about the show that kind of dates itself.
Yeah.
And horror is universal. So for a lot of people, Courage was like their first horror related show. And I could tell you, Courage has some terrifying moments.
oh yeah, oh yeah, oh yeah.
Return
It's
the
pretty
slab.
dark. I mean, they're at the edge of nowhere, so it's like, and you've got Ma and Pa Kent there, who are just awful.
Yeah.
So yeah,
Yeah.
so Marty's going to be there. We have a change up in schedule.
Yeah,
July
Marty's
2nd.
Yep, Marty's going to be here June 11th. We have Chris
Right.
Campagna. Who
Campana is going to be here July 2nd.
July 2nd.
Chris Campana, who is he just finished the variant cover of Death Dealers #2 for Comic Nights,
Mhm.
and it's amazing. And he's a hell of an artist and personal friend, and that's going to be awesome to have him in here.
Mhm.
That's going to be Saturday, July 2nd, and he's going to be in store doing sketches, and some I'm sure
You'll
some
see more.
commissions. Yeah, and
And you'll see more.
Yeah.
Yeah. We'll give you more information about how to get a commission.
Mike McCone's going to
yeah.
be around sometime July or August. We have to pin him down.
Yep.
He wants to do it on a Wednesday, which would be awesome. And just in time for Halloween. And you're going to love this one, Brian. October 1st is Richard Davis. Rich Davis, the author and creator of Cult of Dracula
Nice.
and Rise of Dracula.
Mhm.
And October 29th is Alton Simpson, Al, Vampires of New Jersey.
Mhm.
So, yeah.
A little bit of vampire action.
Little
taking us
spooky.
into,
Yeah.
Taking us
Tis
into the
the
Halloween
season.
season.
Ah,
Exactly.
I can dig it.
The two other things I think that we have so much on the schedule we're not going to get to, but the two other things where we wanted to give a shout out to the local 404
Yes.
and Christian wanted to mention the Smod Castle.
Yeah, we have a little thing going on over at the Smodcast. It's our debut film festival. It's awesome right now. The deadline for regular submissions for all that stuff is June 16th. Then after that, the final deadline is July 18th. And then between that time, around July 31st, you'll be notified if you enter and are in our festival. And then from the 17th to the 21st of August is the actual festival. And from what I've seen, there's some really good films.
May I ask you a question?
Yes, you may.
How many people have submitted so far?
I don't want to say the number. 'cause
Give us a
then
number.
Do it.
It's over 600.
Over
so
600?
far.
Congratulations. Well, you have a full-time job now, so.
Congratulations.
Yeah.
I played myself.
I
Oh my god. But yeah, no, I was a champion of this from the very beginning. I'm so glad that Ernie, Kevin, and everybody involved actually were like, let's do it. So please submit your stuff because I want to see more dope films. So please send them in. Submit to the Smodcastle Film Festival. And how can you do that? Smodcastle Film Festival has a Film Freeway submission portal. So go to filmfreeway.com/Smodcastle Film Festival if you want to submit your short film, feature film, animation, or documentary. So yeah.
Very nice. I want to give a shout out to a friend of mine, to Garrett Gunn. He dropped his second issue of, it's called Good Dog, and just didn't this close to making it onto my top 5. And good for you, Garrett. Garrett did the Mighty Men, which starred Ming Chen and Mike Sapsik for a con. And it was actually really a very cute comic book. And beautiful. It was awesome. So good for you, Garrett. I am so happy. That's awesome.
Congratulations. So I just saw a question from Mike Bass. Any chance it will be streamed? I believe that is to be determined, but leaning towards a yes. But
Okay.
I don't want to give a definitive answer, but it's possible. But yeah.
Okay, and the 404, we've got a new thing coming up for people who have. Should I just explain, hun?
I think so.
So
Sure.
for anyone who loves for people who hate people but love gatherings, when you come to an event here at the Secret Stash, especially one that has Jay and Kevin at it, we've got some friends on the interwebs on some of the Facebook friend groups that will help ease your coming to an event. They're going to be helpers. They're going to talk you through.
Can I
you
give
know.
a little bit of backstory?
Yeah.
Do you mind if I interrupt you?
Go to
with the
town.
Backstory?
Go for it.
This was sort of one of those things, right? Part of being part of a community. So after the celebration event, which we had on May 7th and 8th, we got a lot of feedback, great feedback. One of the things that we noticed, though, were some people were saying how they got here, and some of the folks that they know online and really had gotten close to, they were still a little bit hesitant to go up to them in real life and talk to them because not all of us, I mean, I count myself in this, all of us feel comfortable in large crowds or meeting new people.
Yeah.
We just kind of clam up and shut down, So Michael reached out to a couple of people and said, you know what, it's too good of a community to, for us not to be supporting each other when we get together. So a couple of members of the View Askew universe have volunteered to step up and kind of create this,
Kind of lead
this
the
program.
charge.
Yeah, exactly.
That's dope.
Yeah.
Yeah, because unfortunately we can't do anything.
Really about
Yeah, there's so much stuff going on, but it's fans helping fans. So then that's
which
what
is something
it is.
that is wholly encouraged.
Encouraged and absolutely doable. And,
Absolutely.
You've got.
And there's no better community for that than this, is because I know that some people are nervous, and I'll be honest, I was one of those people. I was nervous as hell the first time I met Kevin. But once you realize how quickly and how kind everybody actually is, it's such a good environment for that type of thing to even exist. Yeah. So yeah, I'm glad that that's actually a thing that's being worked on.
We're pretty proud of them. We're proud of our community, fans helping fans.
Kevin Smith fandom.
Yeah.
There ain't nothing like it.
J Muse fandom.
I have met some friends who are probably gonna be friends for life through this. It's amazing. They're
yeah, because they're never gonna leave you alone.
Nope.
I'm telling you, you're screwed.
I'm done.
Yeah.
That's it.
We
for
should
me.
have some of Jay's Twitch friends on the welcoming committee too. They didn't seem to have any problem whatsoever connecting with people. They were awesome.
No, they're
yes. Yeah. We do have one question in the comments. Do we have a date for Jay's B-Day Bash yet?
No.
No, not
No.
yet. We are working on, we are
Options.
working on a few other events that Kevin and Jay will be attending for the rest of the year.
And
but
options.
as with everything, the future is always in motion. So,
Mhm.
so we are working on that. Believe me, as soon as we have something confirmed, ready to announce, we will be announcing it all over the
Jedi
place.
Master Julia, always in motion is the future.
Exactly.
Just this funny comment. Munity unite.
All right, sure.
All right, sure, no problem.
Absolutely.
Brian, thank you so much for coming. I wish you nothing but the best for that night. July 9th, Saturday, beautiful.
Atlantic Islands.
And you're gonna take VIPs. And folks, this VIP package is pretty sweet. Take them up.
Limited numbers, so get your tickets while they're still there.
Whichpathwillyouchoose.com.
Whichpathwillyoutchoose.com. And this will be my last question for you before you go. I promise. So what went into actually creating an event like this? So because an interactive experience is a very different form of filmmaking, especially when it comes to like documentary and pseudo style. With that, choose your own adventure is dope, but with this type of thing, what were some of the challenges that you faced that were unique to this one?
There's definitely some challenges, and as far as creating the event, being in the paranormal space, people see myself, people see my Pathways partner Justin Parry from Ghost Hunters, and they assume, oh, this is going to be a ghost hunt. This event, you don't necessarily have to be into the paranormal. You could just be curious and go, what is this about? This is your gateway event. So you come in. Some people are too scared. They're like, oh, I don't want to go on an investigation, but I'll watch one. And you sit there, you're in control of it. And in the filming, we had to film all the branches. So if you choose A, if you chose B, we had to figure out where that ended up in, and we still had to have a beginning and an end.
It's a very complex way of filmmaking too, because some of those films, it's like you get presented choices, but then some of those choices lead you towards a dead end, which I'm curious, especially with this, how that differs. But I'm so excited to see it.
We originally were going to have a buddy of mine, Chris Mancuso, as the third choice, that if you saw him pop up on the screen, you clearly made the wrong choice.
You chose wrong.
You chose poorly.
You chose poorly, yes.
You lose. Good day, sir.
You lose. You get nothing.
But thank you again for coming on the show, man. It was awesome.
We said good day, sir.
We'd love to have you back.
Yes, thank you so much.
Have we tortured you enough? Yeah, you would? Okay,
I'd love
great.
to come back and geek out some more.
Yeah,
right.
we'll get you like a stand for your posters. I feel so bad now. I have to have like.
But no, it worked out for the book.
Yeah, it did.
Yeah,
Thank God we did the unboxing.
Which you can find on Amazon.
Amazon.com.
Yeah.
Grains of Sand by Brian J. Cano. All right. I think that's
Thank
it.
you so much. Yeah, that's
Thank
it.
you guys.
Thank you.
Thank you for joining us live at the Secret Stash.
Thank you.